This is Garfield Waller coming at you with another episode of Rock the Mic. Well, guys, I'm on the road, so the lighting won't be perfect, but please bear with me. For the last 3 weeks or so, we have been inundated with sports. Lots of sports events. Well, we've had the Copa Soccer down in South America, we've had the European Soccer Championships, and we've had track and field. Lots of track and field. Interesting track and field. And if you look at the topic of my program, it can tell you what I'm going to be talking about, guys. We're going to be dealing with this whole incident about weed smoking and how it affects your track and field performance. But just to say this, that the Jamaican Olympic trials and the American Olympic trials revealed a great deal. And we've got to talk about the elephant in the room. Like her or not, Sha'Carri Richardson. She is somebody who we're going to have to take into account. Not because of just her exploits on the track. Not just her exploits on the track. And I see somebody saying, hi, I don't know who it is, but your comments will appear on the screen. Not because of her exploits just on the track, but what she's doing off it. Guys, she has not accomplished much yet. She won the NCAAs, but look at what. She has just sucked out all the oxygen that's in the room. And this girl is going to be a media darling. The media is going to go with her because she's bringing that aspect of controversy into the sport. But let's look at this whole weed smoking thing. Yes, she knew what she was doing. She has accepted responsibility for it. But it seems like it's the spectators, the rest of us who, we have a problem with this. We seem to have a problem with this. Look, rules are there to be followed. And she broke the rules, she's got to accept the penalty. Yes, but here's what I'm worried about. Whoever, a Jamaican, an American, a Kenyan, a Nigerian, whoever wins that 100 meters women's race, there is going to be a cloud, a question mark, an asterisk beside it from here until eternity. Why do I say that? Some of you may be too young to remember, but 1972, if you bring up 1972 to a track purist, two things stand out. One, the massacre of the Israeli athletes, and two, the 100 meters men. Now, let's go back to the 100 meters men, 1972. There were three men who factored into this. Three men. One, Valery Borzov from Russia, or the USSR as you call it. Borzov was a scientific production, really. And Borzov had I don't remember if he was the first man or one of the only men. Yes, you had fast runners in the 100. You had fast runners in the 200. But you seldomly had guys who did equally well in both. But I can't remember if Borzov was the first to run the 100 in 10 flat and then double the time for double the distance. That means 10 flat in 100, and in twice that distance, he did 20 flat. Yeah, you had guys running 9.9, you had guys running 19 something in the 200, but for one man to be doing this was astounding. But the three guys who went in as co-favorites really was Valery Borzov and the United States, Eddie Hart and Ray Robinson. Now, the Americans were running 9.9 for breakfast, and they were favored to win. However, on the day of the final, when they said, get to your marks, the two Americans were not there. Turns out they had overslept. In fact, after reading Eddie Hart's autobiography, he said the coach was looking at the wrong itinerary. The coach's itinerary was wrong. Not that he really overslept, but from what the coach told him, the race was meant to be for another hour or so. So the Americans were not in the race. And Valery Borzov went on to win the 100 in, I think, 10.23. He ended up winning the double. In fact, just to fast forward, 4 years later, Valery Borzov came back and ran the exact same time in the final, and that gave him third place. He was beaten by Donald Quarry, who took the silver in the 100, and Hazley Crawford, who took the 100. But forever after that, if you brought up the name Valery Borzov, winner of the 100 meters, there was always a but. What would have happened if he won the 100, but the Americans weren't there? And I believe in another couple of weeks in Tokyo, whichever lady takes that 100 meters, there's going to be that little thing. She won, but what would have happened if Shakira were there? Shakira wasn't there, so we don't know what would have happened. Hey, the woman hasn't really achieved anything yet. She hasn't run as fast as Shelly-Ann Fraser, Price of Jamaica, or Elaine Thompson-Herah, but everybody's looking at this young lady. Yes, she's brash. She's outspoken. She's a media magnet. And it somehow doesn't sit with a lot of Jamaicans the way she has that overconfidence. We seem to like our athletes more humble, more low-key. But hey, this girl isn't like that. This girl is not like that. So guys, we know that marijuana, weed, is legal in over 20 odd states here. So why does the World Athletic Association, WADA as you call it, why do they have this stance against weed? We have to look into that. Now, here's my question to all of you out there. Here's my question to all of you. I don't care if you comment now or if you want to comment on the replay when you watch it later on. I don't care, but I need your comment. Here's what I'd love for you to chime in. Put in your posts or whatever, guys. Tell me, if you ever did sports, I don't care what level, recreational, youth club, high school, primary school, some of you who got to boys champs or whatever, if you ever did sports, please let me know. Does smoking weed affect athletic performance? I'm just asking for a friend. Somebody here is saying, yes, it calms anxiety. But I really want to know. When I say affect, I don't mean it's got to be bad. It could be a good effect. It could, like this person said, Carl Maxwell said, it calms anxiety. No, guys, I'm sure for the effect it has on everybody is not going to be the same. But for everybody who played in Jamaica, whether they played cricket, netball, volleyball, football, whatever, just comment. I'd love to hear what you say. I'd love to hear. And Mr. Maxwell says it calms anxiety. Okay, I believe him on that. But when you say calms your anxiety during the game, wouldn't that make you too low-key? What do you say? Dana Phipp saying hi. But guys, whether you catch me now or on the replay, I'd love to hear your comment. I'd love to hear what you say. Does smoking weed affect your athletic performance? I have played with guys I played football with the guys who, honestly, on the field, it seemed to really give them that mellow feeling. They're just floating in and out when I would have wanted them to be more active, more busybody. There are some guys I see who were almost in a daze. But I'd like to know how it works for you. And Mr. Maxwell again says it gets rid of stage fright. Is there anybody out there who it had a different effect on? Isn't a little stage fright good? Isn't a little anxiety good? What do you think? But guys, does smoking weed affect athletic performance? Why is it not a PED? Why is it not a PED? I mean, if it's calming you down, it's gonna, you may say, Maxwell, it helps your performance. In that case, it's enhancing your performance. Wouldn't you say so? I'd love to hear from a lady who did track or netball or volleyball. Let me hear what you think. Does smoking weed affect your performance? And this is something, guys, honestly, I think we could argue this from now till kingdom come. Does it affect your performance or not? So, guys, chime in. Leave a comment. Anytime you want to. We'll answer them. Thank you, Mr. Maxwell. And I'd like to say hello to Dana Phipp. But for those who played cricket, if you have smoked a couple blunts and you go out there, are you seeing one ball or three? How does it affect your timing? And another thing I'd like to know for guys who played football, did it affect your cardio? Did it affect your lung capacity? Was your breathing okay after running for 10, 20 minutes? These are the things I'd like to know. Hey, as a youth growing up in Jamaica, I never smoked. So it's not it's not a conversation I can really get into because I never smoked it, never tried it. Last time I smoked, I was about 10. My dad caught me, like I said, and made me smoke the whole pack of, what was it, Buccaneer or Four Aces. That was it for me. But guys, if you're seeing this now or you can chime in later, yeah, I'd love to hear what you say. Weed. To some of us, it's just normal for people to smoke it. But I want to know the effect on your performance. How does it help you? Does it bring you down or does it push you up? This is something we have to look at because I think after this Olympics, some of these rules may be looked at after. When the World Doping Association sees the effect it had on everybody, how people chimed in. For example, I heard that Shakira's Twitter users went up from 70,000 to something like 2 million. People chiming in. Think of all the celebrities that are coming in on this. I mean, some of them know nothing about track, but they just are upset about the whole weed thing. They would rather overlook steroid use, but they jump behind this whole weed phenomena. And I'd love to know what people think. So guys, if you are on Facebook or YouTube watching this, share it with a friend. Share it with a friend, please, because I'd love to see the comments later. Another topic I'd like to do maybe later on tonight or tomorrow, I'd love to look at the Euro Championships and the Copa America Championships. Do a comparison, a contrast, the different styles of football being played. And as we get onto the final in the Euro, which will be, England against Italy, it should be fun. I have my certain bias, which some people may not agree with. But we look into that. But for right now, guys, we are talking weed. Marijuana. Mary Jane, whatever you call it. Ganja. Whatever you want to call it. Whatever species you want. Sensimilla, lamb's bread, whatever. And I see Miss Angela Latibodier tuning in on Facebook. Using an enhancement drug is against the rules. So until the regulations are changed, what goes for the goose should go for the gander. I believe so. Hey, you know the rules. In fact, to the young lady's credit, yes, she admitted she knew what she was doing. At least I give her that. But if you know the rules, red light means stop. You go through it and you get in an accident. Even though you knew it, hey, you're screwed. So thank you, Angie. But according to the World Drug Association, it is not a performance-enhancing drug. I'd like somebody to come on and argue that. And hey, please don't kill me, but I've never seen the sense in smoking. Why buy something just to burn it up? I mean, my idea may be naive, but that's how I always looked at it. Hey, I'm going to buy this thing and then I'm just going to set it on fire. But guys, smoking, does it affect your athletic performance? I've always wondered if it made you feel too chill. I would need an athlete to be more amped up and ready to go. But I always thought that the weed would, suppress everything. And does it affect the vision or whatever? Or the cardio? I've always wondered that, but nobody could give me a straight answer. The only answer I could get from them is that, hey, after you smoke, man, you're very hungry. You are very, very hungry. If that's the case with you, hey, please, it's not the time now. When we were growing up, smoking weed was something frowned upon because it was associated with the lower economic strata of people. But today, hey, this thing is legal almost everywhere now, so I don't think it's a problem. If you smoked it, yeah, come on, say so. We're not gonna come and arrest you, but And I want to know, every Jamaican kid did sports. That's one. Give them. We know everybody here did sports. Not everybody smoked the weed, but if you did both, let me know how it affected. Let us know in the comments. What effect did this have on your performance? And guys, do you think this attitude people have about weed, like I was thinking, is it because of the way it smells? If it had the same smell as tobacco, do you think people would have been against it like how they are? Because there are many people that weed smell just turns them off. But if the smell was the same as the tobacco, what would have been the result? Would it be looked down on? But no, I'd really like to know about cardio. So guys, please, if you are watching this, if you are hearing my voice, share this with somebody. So by tonight, we could have a lot of comments, because I'd love to hear what everybody thinks. I'd love to hear the different points of views. So we know, hey, is it right for those people who are backing Sha'Carri? Or should we stand behind the World Drug Association? But it's amazing about knowing the rules. For example, I don't know if you remember a few years ago, World Championship, 100 meters. Bolt fall started. The man knew the rules. He immediately knew what he did wrong. What did he do? He walked away and took off his top, because he knew. Maybe had he hesitated and hung around, maybe, hey, this big star, would they have taken him out of the race? But he basically took himself out by just walking away, took his singlet off. This young lady admitted that she knew what she was doing. And it leads me to question, for those people who follow track, it leads me, what sort of guidance did she get from her college coaches or her personal coach? Then again, not really throwing stones. We know her personal coach is, what's his name, Dennis Mitchell, and he was once held for steroids also. So is she getting the right kind of guidance? Because guys, now take a look at it. When Nike looks at her followers, the way her Twitter account and Instagram has jumped, Nike's gonna realize that, hey, this is a cash cow. This is a golden goose. And they're gonna wanna handle her differently. I am predicting in the near future, we're gonna see Dennis Mitchell out of the picture. They may force her to cut ties with him because they realize what they have here. And to think of it, hey, she hasn't won anything yet. She has not won anything yet. What's going to happen when she hits a circuit? What's going to happen when she hits a circuit? But knowing that she loves the media, I predict that this kid is going to suck all the air, all the oxygen out of the Olympics. I can just see her tweeting every day, especially on the day when they have that 100. When they have that 100 meters, I can just see her dominating the airwaves, saying this, saying that, saying this, saying that. And it's going to be hard for the other ladies to ignore what's going on. So in the meantime, guys, we're looking at people like Diana Asher-Smith from England, Blessing Okagbare from Nigeria. We're looking at those we have from Jamaica, starting with Brianna Williams, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, Elaine Thompson-Herah, and Shericka Jackson, who is tearing it up like nobody's business. And any one of them could win that 100 meters. Any one of them could take it, depending on what's happening at the start. But after that, the argument is gonna persist. If Sha'Carri were there, what would have happened? And I know it's gonna irk a lot of us Jamaicans. I know it's gonna irk a lot of us just to sit there and listen, whether a Jamaican wins or not. Just to sit there and listen. And while we're on this, guys, just think, I'm gonna discuss this another day. The 4x1. Oh my God, it's right in our laps already. We have to really try hard to screw that one up. We have to really try hard to screw that one up. But we'll see. But guys, for those who have tuned on, whether you're on Facebook, I know the people from YouTube, it popped up on the screen. Could you share this? And if you're on Facebook, could you go over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel? I'd appreciate it. It helps me a lot. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I told you guys, I'm on the road and conditions aren't ideal. Take care and remember, think about the topic. Smoking weed, how does it affect one's athletic performance? And if you have any personal knowledge of this, let me know. Put it in the comments and we'll get back to you maybe tomorrow. Okay, guys, take care. This is Garfield Waller from Rock the Mic, over and out.